I don't I don't know how to tackle. Why? No pun intended. I don't know how to tackle the Washington football team, man. It's like we know what they are. What they are is right in front of our faces. Now I know that seems, wait, what? I know, but hear me out. We know what Washington's gonna be. Anyone that's watched football for God knows, or ever since Ryan Fitzpatrick has been in the league, we know what the Washington football team is. We know who they're going to be. We know this. Washington football team has, in my opinion, and arguably the best defensive front in football. You have Chase Young. You have Sweat. You have Deron Payne. You have Allen. You have now Jamie Cott. Like they have one of the best defensive fronts in all of football. They have decent a decent back. You have the rookie Collins. You have Kyle Fuller. Like you have some good pieces. Their defense is elite. Their defense is A1. Their defense is going to be the best part about Washington. The question is, and what the question has been for a while now, is their offense. Yes, you have pieces. You have Terry McLaurin, who I think is criminally underrated in the NFL. You have Antonio Gibson, who had a breakout year last year. Then you have Ryan Fitzpatrick. Let's have a conversation about Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick has moments of. That's why he coined. I mean, that's why he has a nickname, Ryan Fitzmagic. We know the last second throw he had last year against the Raiders. He's had some incredible moments, like incredible moments. We remember what the game he threw 400 yards or something the first game against the Saints one year. Ryan Fitzpatrick has been incredible at moments. There's a reason why Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think, has been on like 9 or 10 teams in his career. There's a reason why every single place he goes, there's a quarterback battle. Or he goes into the season as a backup. Ryan Fitzpatrick has his moments, right? But Ryan Fitzpatrick is not a starting quarterback. He's just not. Let me say this. Let me retract that. Ryan Fitzpatrick is a starting quarterback. He is a starting quarterback. But if you want to win, like if you want any hope of winning a Super Bowl, of going deep in the playoffs, Ryan Fitzpatrick is not a season-long starting quarterback. That's why when this offseason, all we were hearing about was maybe Mitch Trubisky would go to Washington. Maybe Cam Newton would be good at Washington. Because Washington has the pieces. It's just they haven't. I mean, Alex Smith, we know what happened with the injury, but even Alex Smith at his best is more of a game manager. Hell, he was like he's not going to. You know what he is. Alex Smith is a better Teddy Bridgewater, as far as he's going to do all the right things, but he is not going to risk anything. He doesn't have the greatest deep ball. He's not even going to throw the ball deep. Really, he's a good solid system quarterback, but he's not going to just launch it downfield. He's not going to really put you in harm's way, but he's not going to risk it. And then you had Allen who got hurt. Hell, I'll say this. Ron Rivera led team. We know they're going to be incredible defensively. That's Ron Rivera's calling card, pretty much his defense. Hell, he got when the Panthers went 15-1 with Cam Newton. A lot of people don't talk about how incredible their defense was with Luke Kuechly and all them. But This team, just like the Giants, is only going to go as far as Ryan Fitzpatrick takes them. And I have damn near no faith that Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to take them far, because we've seen Ryan Fitzpatrick as a starting quarterback. There's a reason that if you start this, there's a reason why majority of the time, if Ryan Fitzpatrick starts the season as a starting quarterback, he does not end the season as a starting quarterback. There's a reason for that. Nobody, again, it goes back. I hate to keep going back, but it goes back to the Cam Newton conversation. Nobody wants to uproot and change their entire offense for their backup. But teams have had to do that with Ryan Fitzpatrick, because Ryan Fitzpatrick has started the season as a starter, and somewhere down the line, he gets benched because that magic wears off. The Fitz magic that everyone talks about, it goes to hell quick. Hell, he was playing incredible for the Dolphins, and they still benched him for Tua. And the worst part about that was Tua was not ready, and they still benched Ryan Fitzpatrick. But they benched Tua a couple times during the season, and then Ryan Fitzpatrick came back, and was like, oh, okay, well, he's good, but let's slide Tua back in there. But the same thing happened with him and Jameis Winston. That's why I was so adamant that let me say we. You know what's funny? Side note, little tangent. Why do fans take ownership in their teams? Like it's like either they're part of the team or they own it. Like anytime I'm talking about a team that I like, either it's Washington or I don't know, North Carolina, I always say we, like I'm part of the team. I always say we, like I go to their 5 a.m. practices every day. It's funny. Or I'm in training camp with them. But back to what I was saying. I think fans do that a lot. Fans do that definitely a lot. They take ownership in their team, so or they integrate themselves in the team, so they say we a lot. So, but back to what I was saying. This team, I mean, Chase Young, to me, Chase Young is the best player in this division. I know that's crazy when you have Zeke, you have Dak, you have CeeDee Lamb, you have Terry McLaurin, you have Saquon Barkley, you have there's nobody on the Eagles. Maybe Fletcher Cox. But I think Chase Young is the best player in this division. I know he's coming out of his second year, or this will be his second year, but Chase Young is the best player in this division, in my opinion. Sweat, Payne, Collins, hell, this defense is so good. You let a team favorite in Ryan Kerrigan go, and nobody bat an eye because and Ryan Kerrigan still has years left on him. So we know this defense is going to be good. To me, you have the best player in the division in Chase Young, and the defense is not. I mean, Kyle Fuller, their defense is going to be okay. Their front is going to be damn near amazing. Like, you have all first round picks. It's really their back end, but I think that has been improved. It's just Ryan Fitzpatrick. We know we're gonna see a explosive offense. We know we're gonna see him sling and throw the ball all over the place, because that's his calling card. He did that when he was with the Dolphins. He did that when he was with the Bucks. He did that everywhere he's been. He's gonna sling the ball everywhere. So if you're a fantasy and you haven't had a draft yet, don't be scared to pick up Terry McLaurin. Don't be scared to pick up Ross. Don't be scared to pick up Antonio Gibson. But the question is when, in my opinion, because the definition of insanity is doing the same exact thing, expecting a different outcome. That's the definition of insanity. It's insane to think that in year how many years has Ryan Fitzpatrick been playing? Give me a second. I'm gonna look this up, because Ryan Fitzpatrick has been in the league for a minute, actually. I forgot we have Curtis Samuel. It'd be crazy for me to think that let me see, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitz. In, in year 18, it'd be crazy for me to think that the Ryan Fitzpatrick that we've got for 17 years, or 17 seasons, let's say this. The Ryan Fitzpatrick that we've gotten in 17 seasons is automatically going to change. Or out of the blue is going to change, and he's going to be a consistent quarterback for the entire season. That to me would be insane because we've seen what he's going to be, even with talent. Hell, you think the Dolphins team didn't have talent? You think the Bucks team didn't have talent? You think there was no team in 17 seasons that didn't have talent? And Ryan Fitzpatrick has been to how many playoffs? Let alone how many teams out of those 17 did he start compared to finish as a starter? That's the question. Oh, that's nasty. I'm looking at the roster right now, and they have Ryan Fitzpatrick and then Eric Flowers. Oh, man. Washington. That's the thing, man. Washington has the best, in my opinion, the best player in the division in Chase Young on the defensive side of the ball. But I don't know if they'll be good enough to win win the division. And it's because the way that they win the division is leaning heavily on their defense, which they did last year. Lean heavily on their defense, and Ryan Fitzpatrick doesn't lose it for them. I don't know how many games he'll win for them, but doesn't lose for them. That is how the Washington football team is going to win. And we'll just have to see, because they weren't allotted any breaks either. Like they have, I mean, you start the season with Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Then 2 weeks later, week 3, you have Josh Allen, the Bills. Then 3 weeks later, you have what's his name? You have Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Next, the very next game, you have Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Then week 10, you have Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady. Week 12, you have Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. Oh, and not forget that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 weeks straight of divisional football, and that's at the end of the season. So they did not give this Washington football team any, and I mean any breaks. So I don't know. It's really on. I'll say this. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick, an offense led by Ryan Fitzpatrick, will look different and better than one with Alex Smith. Seeing as though he has more of an arm, more of a cannon. I'm trying to end this, trying to end the Washington jump with some positivity. Ryan Fitzpatrick has a better arm than Alex Smith. I think his accuracy is a little better than Alex Smith. He's a little more mobile than Alex Smith. He's not being, but don't get it twisted. He's not really mobile, but he's a little more mobile than Alex Smith was, especially after the injury. And I mean, we have some solid players. We have Terry McLaurin, who's again one of the better receivers in my opinion. Antonio Gibson, one of the better running backs in my opinion. We have some pieces. Logan Thomas, who I think is a top, I know it's crazy to say, but I think he's a top 10 tight end in this league. Brandon Sheriff, who's an incredible offensive lineman, probably one of the best offensive guards in the league. Curtis Samuel that we got from the Panthers. I mean, we got some players, man. We got some players. It's just it's just how far is it going to take it? J.D. McKissick, who is a pretty much dual threat running back. He's not as good, don't get me wrong, but he's kind of like the Alvin Kamara, as in he can run and he can also catch pretty well and has really good after the catch yards. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what Washington does, man. We'll have to see what Washington does. I think that their defense definitely is good enough to be in the playoffs. Again, and I can't stress this enough, I think that they have the best player in the division in Chase Young. But we'll just have to see. We'll have to see. So.